I don't know, I just really love the kind of soft pastel vibes that this pen is giving. Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries for another collaboration with Benu pens. I was kindly gifted this pen from Benu. This is their new Haute or Haute model, and I'm very excited about this model because it has less facets. So I know a huge selling point to the Benu pens is how sparkly they are, and I love that. But a lot of their pens have really sharp facets all over the sides, which could be uncomfortable for some. It personally does not bother me, but I know if you were wanting to maybe get a super sparkly Benu pen, but you didn't want to deal with all the facets like that would sit in your hand here, maybe this might be the new pen model for you. But let's go ahead and go over the pen here and the color that I chose. Okay, so here is the pen in all of its glory. I am obsessed. So I chose the color Perle. It's this kind of aqua, oceanic teal turquoise color here in the middle, and it has this soft baby pink iridescent looking ends. And the grip section matches the belly band that's here in the kind of not iridescent, but more like transparent iridescent sparkles, silvery sparkles. It's like a teal transparent resin. It's so pretty. It also has this little silver ring here that matches the silver ring on the cap, and the nib is also silver. This is a Schmidt number 6 nib, and I got this in a fine. I can't read my own eyes. Anyways, it does also have the standard Benu clip, which is really cool and nice and springy. If my camera will focus or decide to focus, there it goes. So you can push the end of this here and it'll lift the clip up a little bit, which makes it a little bit easier if you're trying to tuck this into like a shirt pocket or clip it onto the edge of your journal or something like that. But love the Benu clip. It's actually one of my favorite clips out there because it has a nice seal and it's not hard to slip anything underneath it. Anyways, the pen does not have anything but 4 facets. So it's kind of a square. It has like simpler edges on each side, and it matches on the cap. So if you were to post the pen, which it does post very securely. I mean, like I really had to shake that off to get that off. But yeah, it's really on there. So don't be afraid to post this one if you need to. It is a pretty comfortable length for me personally. I don't think I would be posting this pen, but if you wanted to, it does post, and it posts very well. Other than that, let's do some size comparisons to other Benu pen models because I'm sure you're curious. And I also will do some size comparisons with other pens that are not Benu that you may have seen before. Okay, so I have organized the Benu pens that I have. I do have, I think, majority of the models that they have offered so far. I think I am missing a few, but Benu has kindly supplied me with most of the models at this point. Anyways, this one over here is the 𝗬𝗎𝗎, which is probably the largest. It has facets on all sides. This is the Haute or the Haute model that they just came out with. This one here is a daily mate, so it's slightly shorter. So the Haute is probably a bit more of like a large pen like the 𝗬𝗎𝗎 model. This one here is the Talisman. This one is the Astrogem. This one is the Briolette. This one is the Ambrosia, and this is their smallest pen, the 𝗃𝗃𝗃. They have lots of different colorways on all of these sizes of pens, but I'm glad to see that if you wanted a 𝗬𝗎𝗎 style pen, like the size of the large pen like this, and you weren't a fan of like the faceted edges of the 𝗬𝗎𝗎, that the Haute is now available with the, I guess, more clean edge, so it's much simpler in terms of the facets. I will say that most of these pens do post, like I mentioned, so if you wanted it to be even longer than the pen itself, that is an option. The only ones in my experience that I cannot get to post are the Daily Mates and the Briolette. These ones just don't have a secure enough hold to keep the back of the cap on the pen, so I don't consider those posting pens, but the rest of these do post, and lengthwise I think it is the most similar to the 𝗦𝘃𝗽𝗍. But let me go ahead and close all these up, and I will pull out some other pens and compare it to those for you guys. So here is the Haute model that I just mentioned next to a 𝗦𝘃𝗶𝘁𝗵. This is a King of Night version. Here is it next to a 𝗦𝘃𝗵 Eco in the Espresso Bronze. Here is it next to a Sailor Pro Gear. Here is it next to a Pilot Vanishing Point, which is the Starry Moon version. So yeah, I would definitely consider the Benu Haute to be a large pen for sure. If we were to uncap all of these, just so you can see like the pen body length again, I'd say it's closest in size to the 𝗦𝘃𝗵 Eco length. So yeah, I would still consider the Haute pen to be a larger fountain pen. I do want to go ahead and ink this pen up with you guys today, and I chose an ink from Van Diemen's over in Australia, and this was part of their Valentine's Day release this year, and it is Love Potion. I really just wanted to put a gorgeous sparkly ink in this pink pen, and it's a light pink ink with this kind of like iridescent kind of golden pink shimmer in it, and I feel like these will be, I don't know, I feel like it's going to be a nice match. Okay, so here we go. I went ahead and inked the pen up with the Love Potion. This is a fine Schmidt nib, like I mentioned before, but this is the Benu Haute or Hot in Pearl. And this has a Schmidt number 6 fine nib, and it is writing so beautifully, and I really like this light pink. This is the light pink that I have been on the hunt for so long, and I'm so glad I found it. And it is Van Diemen's Love Potion. Stunning, absolutely stunning. This is going to be such a gorgeous pen for like the spring months, or maybe when I become a mom. I mean, this is pink and blue. It'll be part of my journaling pens for when I'm, you know, working on becoming a mom. And I don't know, I just really love the kind of soft pastel vibes that this pen is giving with this ink. It's so, so pretty. I love it so much already. It's so gorgeous. Final thoughts on the pen itself. I will say I think the lack of facets, or I guess the smoothness of the pen, is really nice. I do have a concern that if you over tighten your pens, it might make the lining up of like the edges of the cap and the pen to be, I don't know, off center at some point. I haven't noticed it yet, but I just have a feeling that if I over tighten the pen at some point, it may stretch the thread, or it won't sit the same again after that. So just something I'm thinking about in my final thoughts here. That is something I am concerned about. I don't see it happening yet, at least with me opening and closing this a few times I've done so far. But if you are prone to over tightening a pen, just note that might off center the cap from the pen body, so the square edges may not match up. Other than that, I love the colorways. I love that it's a more simple design with still a bit of fun. I think this is a really great introduction to Benu if you're wanting something a bit more on the simple side, but you still want the little bit of Benu flair with like the sparkles. I think they have a lot of great color options with this too, and there's probably something for everybody, actually. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it off here. Let me know what your favorite Benu pen model is down in the comments, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Be blessed. Bye.